reasonably be said that all great works of art require no explanation. That being said, they're open to multiple interpretations. And that being said, I would never claim to have made a great work of art. But for the people who have been so kind enough as to support my music, and for, you know, some people who discover my Bandcamp like 100 years after I'm dead in the post-apocalyptic wastes, this is a brief summary of Monstrous Birth, my most recent album. Messy idea, because in the old medieval times, where it's a kind of problematic notion, it's the idea that when children are born with some sort of deformity or something like that, it's a sign from God, the devil was involved, with this, I was thinking more of like monstrous in a literary kind of way of like something that's neither one nor the other. And so a monstrous birth, right? It's the idea of like, ooh, a queer man giving birth to an album, and like an album that's kind of electronic, kind of something else, blah blah blah. And I also think of the album too as like two halves. So this is going to cover the Spain half, which was partially written in Spain, partially written in America, and even like parts of it were written in China. So it can hardly be called one thing or the other. That's kind of where the name comes from. If you have a better, cooler fan interpretation of Monstrous Birth, that's true too. Why not?
I've got a dossier on you, it says you're nothing but a no-good pedant, ever-loving son of an absentee mother with a hateful brother and a guilty conscience about it all.
Claire Foster is actually just an actor. She's really, really cool, great singer, gorgeous, wonderful. At the time, so don't kill me, but a lot of Claire Foster is actually based on Infinite Jest. So the name is from, I would cast Claire Foster as P-Goat, as the prettiest girl of all time in this book. And also, it's based on the notion of something that's so fun and so addictive that you just want to listen to it over and over and over. So the book, and again, like, I was living abroad and I was alone, okay? I had time for it. But the book basically has that theme a lot of cycles and rings and things that just go back over and over and over and over and over. And so this song is supposed to be something that addictive. And to me, I love that kind of like bubblegum pop. Now the lyrics of the song are about a relationship I was in. Just listen to the lyrics and you'll kind of get a rough sketch of how that relationship went.
I didn't want to go.
There's little pieces from other things, like the whole idea of like being like splattered on the concrete. When I was biking to work, home from work in China, my bike chain came off my rent-a-bike, and so I was in the middle of a busy intersection, and I was like, this is it, I'm dead. But it was like, as I was biking that I thought of that like line and idea. I'm like, yeah, this romance kind of really fits with the idea of like, just splattered, bruised, bloody, and beaten. Yeah, and that situation, that story makes a kind of comeback in the second part of the album.
Creeping across the world in single file armies. From my point of vantage, everybody stares.
If I want this video to be less than 30 years long, I'm gonna have to cut everything down. So Lobsters and Ants, right, it plays on a very simple dun 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 dun. That one's supposed to be its own little like story. I think a lot of these are like, there's a story, there's an idea, and they come together. The story of that one is basically like dating someone that's like super, super volatile and like this weird, just like other, I don't know, who knows. That one's not a real story. I wrote the start of that in college and I finished it this year. But then the other idea behind it, like, is the idea of humanity as this like skittering animal blindly crawling across the surface of the earth. That just like horrified me, and I was like, oh good, we'll put it in a fun little song. Let the kiddies listen to it.
Eat your heart out, friend Ollie. My prayers to your family.
Eat Your Heart Out, Brenda Lee, is sort of a love song to like the old starlets, like, And right, there's a lot to unpack there, but we'll throw away the whole suitcase. I think the only things from it is also too that this album, I was reading a lot of postmodern lit, and I think that that's a very pretentious idea for saying, like, that pretentious way of saying, take a lot of things from a lot of different places and put them all together in something that feels new. And so, right, this song has a lot of weird little references, like, keep my eyes shut, but keep my heart wide open, is very much like Born Ruffians, I don't wanna set the world on fire, or whatever they say in that one. And also, like, I wanna know, will you show me, comes from, I wanna know, will you show me? So, right, pieces of everything. And it samples the cue the audio. That's a sample of Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. It's gonna be super long. Hopeless Pocus is about trying to stay hopeful in the modern day, when, for all intents and purposes, things are pretty hopeless. It was also kind of, I wrote it a lot after, like, reflecting on, like, junior year of college, where I would be like, I want something, I want a sweet snack, and I did buy rum chata, so I'll snack on that, and then, like, I would just, like, casually drink all the time, and now I'm like, not a great habit. It probably was a bad habit to have. But we're good now. We're good now.
Tchaikovsky, darling mine, I can feel your presence.
So Tchaikovskого, дорогой, to Tchaikovsky, the dear one. Weird, but we'll keep it short. It's about being Tchaikovsky's widower, and also, like, trying to channel him after his death. That's why I used, like, in like scary movies when ghosts are around, they reverse something, add reverb and delay, and then they reverse it again, so you get that and so there's a lot of that. And Tchaikovsky was, I think many scholars suggest that he was like a gay man who died with a lot of, like, passion locked up, and you hear it in his music that he was going through it. So I wanted to kind of write him a love song. Yeah, that's that.
Love is the answer, oh, love is the answer. Life is the question, oh, life is the question.
Life is a musical. Basically, I wanted to write a Sondheim song. Check. I was living in China teaching drama. Check. And I had major imposter syndrome. Also check. And basically, the song is, the two ideas are, I think it's pretty direct. Life is a musical, right? Like, all the world's a stage, and in our time we play many roles. That whole idea, what in Spanish medieval theater they called el teatro mundi, the theater of the world, or the worldly theater. And then the other, that was a lot, right? And the other thing I think is a lot of songs use that lick of, like, love is the answer. And I kind of wanted to add the, like, right, but if love is the answer, what is the question? Or, I want it, I want it. I've been re-listening to this song recently, and I think I want it is, I used to think, like, oh, I want the world or whatever, but I think it's just, I want love, who doesn't? But if love is the answer, life is the question. So, in a total masterstroke of editing, I realized this is a little too long, and I'm going to break it into another 2 videos. So, the Spain half will be 2 videos, and then there will be a 3rd video for the last piece of the album. But stay tuned, I have it all recorded, it's coming out soon, and this has been Don Kongo, signing off with love and respect.